Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I'm Shannon Woodard. I'm here to discuss Britain's exit from the European Union, commonly known as the Brexit. I appreciate you guys being here. Not only that, I'm here to talk about the potential ramifications to us, U.S. citizens, because of this exit. This is historic. First, let's define what the UK is. The UK is actually comprised of four countries. There's Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales. Commonly, people tend to get it mixed up by defining the UK as everything up in that northern area, where there's actually Great Britain, which is made up of England, Scotland, and Wales, and just England itself. There's three flags that actually make up the UK. We're all very familiar with the actual UK flag with the red, white, and blue. But let's talk about the exit, the Brexit, should I say. I appreciate you guys being here. So, let's define what the European Union is. The European Union is a collection of countries that have come together to establish, in essence, a monopoly. What they're doing is allowing potential free trade. They're allowing citizens to move throughout each of these countries, and I believe at this moment, it's made up of 28 countries. Britain's being the business. Not only that, the most successful by gross domestic product, GDP, as it's commonly known. Britain's number 5 in the nation, in the world, should I say. So the potential drop from Britain from the European Union is astronomical. I can't define exactly what that means, but I'll do my best to tell you. So, what that means is Britain is in essence moving on from the Union. Now, the great thing about it is Britain didn't actually transfer their money. Great Britain was still using the Great Britain pound, where everybody else transitioned to the euro. I think that was smart. I have to say it was pretty intelligent of that country to do so. Not only that, the essence of almost like in our country, in the United States, where people are able to move from state to state to state. Just imagine someone from Portugal picking up a job in England, picking up a job in France, picking up a job in Germany without any necessary documentation. That's astronomical. I can't necessarily define what that means. However, in this climate right now, with the potential for terrorism, it's not necessarily something you need to do. Britain, or the UK as I should say, was actually given $14.8 billion a year in fees. $14.8 billion. Do you know what that means? The average country gave less than $1 billion. Greece was more of a needy state, more so than a given state. So Britain gave $14.8 billion, but actually got back $6 billion. You don't need to be an economics major to understand the ramifications of that. It was, in my opinion, intelligent for the UK to withdraw. But I have to say, there are countries within the UK that chose to stay. The voting was narrow. The margins were narrow. 51 to 48% victory for those who chose to remove from the EU. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the potential limitations. Britain's on their own now. The United Kingdom's on their own now. They no longer fall under the glove of the European Union. What that means is they all of a sudden have to renegotiate the trades to their biggest allies, which is the US. They have to renegotiate, in essence, everything. They got a clean state. As you know, even myself, I suffered 17% reduction in my portfolio today. 17%. The Great Britain pound dropped 31%. Right now, it's worth less than our US dollar. 5 o'clock this afternoon, it was worth 91 cents. For investors, like our guy Trump, it's a gold mine. It's beneficial for him to invest in that currency right now. Even the sterling, the Scottish sterling, it's beneficial. But I'll come back to that later. Let's talk about reasons for withdrawal. Unfortunately, there was no necessarily benefit for them being inside of the European Union. There's no real tangible benefit. I can say that it's disappointing that there were particular nations, particular country within the UK that actually voted to leave. But I think overall it'd be pretty beneficial for them to go. So now let's talk about potential ramifications through the U.S. I've already touched a little bit about the stocks today. The Asian market opened up probably 4 hours before our markets. They took the brunt of everything that happened. We caught the tail end of it. We swam in their wake, in essence. The Dow dropped substantially. 4% the Dow dropped, 500 points. That's pretty substantial. Pretty substantial. Myself, I got 2 girls to put through school. I really can't take those potential losses. Well, not even potential losses. They're actually tangible losses. They're actual losses. Britain, the UK, all of a sudden has limited authority within the world. There was a point where the UK was a substantial player. All of a sudden, they're not. As of today, they aren't. Their currency lowered. I'll discuss that. Not only that, the potential for additional countries leaving. Now, the reality is the UK and Germany were the biggest players within the European Union. Now, that opens up Pandora's box. Hypothetically, if Germany leaves, the potential for the European Union sticking around limited. Now, we've saw this before. We saw this in the 1914, World War I. We saw it in 1940, World War II. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The best thing is, we being the U.S. nation, has decided to actually lend a hand. Obama went to England and asked them to stick within the European Union. Unfortunately, it didn't. However, thankfully, our federal government is here to lend a hand to our biggest ally in this world, which is the UK, United Kingdom. So we won't let them wither away on the vine. We're going to be there to support our biggest ally. Not only that, eventually the great thing is it's the weekend. So we've got time for the stocks to kind of level set. So I anticipate Monday things being not necessarily back to normal, but I anticipate things progressing, should I say. So once again, I thank you all for joining me. I hope it was educational. I hope it was informative. I'm Shannon Woodard talking about the Brexit. Thank you.